Om. Om Sri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Sri Saraswatye Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Vyasa Shankara Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padaha Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Om Samastajana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Sri Tapona Sishyaya Namaha. Hari Om. We are doing the Chandogya Upanishad. We are in the eighth section, the sixth chapter and eighth section. Before we do that, let us first chant the Shanti Mantra for Chandogya Upanishad. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak Pranaschakshushrotramatho Balamindriyani Jasarvani Sarvam Brahmopanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Ma Brahma Nirakarot Anirakaranamastu Nirakaranam me astu Tadatmanirte Upanishatsu Dharmaha Te Mai Santu Om Shanti Shanti. So very briefly, so far we learnt almost 8 sections of this Upanishad. The first 7 sections, the Vichara is about the Tat Pada, which includes Brahma and Jagat. Tat means that which is different from me. Anything other than me is Tat. So what we learnt there is, it is all one existence plus names and forms. The names and forms capture our attention. When they capture attention, we miss the substratum or sat, the existence principle. Now, what Vedanta is trying to tell us is, the universe is first sat, and then different names and forms borrow sat, borrow existence. And then we look at them, names and forms, and we forget the one which gives this existence to the names and forms. It is just like when we see a movie, every appearance on the movie screen has no independent existence other than the screen. If you take the screen out, there is no movie. The example is given to make you understand. What do you understand? The whole universe is actually only one true existing principle. There is only one. All the multiplicity that we see is only appearance in that. Now, what is that? The nature of that existence principle, existence is sat. What is the nature of that? Shastra has told us in this beginning of this eighth section, which is about vichara of the individual, Tvampada. It said it is close to, that is a state where we go into deep sleep. Where we just remain as existence. And that is our natural state. Why? Because we are happy. Then they give an example. If a bird is tied to a pole, it will go around and then it will get tired and comes back to the pole where it finds its support. In the same way, our mind is going around in different directions, forgetting its true nature, which is actually peace and happiness and pure existence. Projecting happiness in individual existences as though, but all of them are only one existence appearing as many. Just like various ornaments are nothing but gold, but our attention is only on the ornaments. Don't dismiss point. Don't miss this important point. Existence is all pervading. Everything that appears is existence only. Whether it is a rock, whether it is a human being, whether it is a cosmos, whether it is an animal, whether it is an atom or a molecule. It is existence only appearing with the name and form that you give. As existence, it is all pervading. And Vedanta says in deep sleep, you also all pervade, you join into existence. Because names and forms are not projected in your mind. So what is happening here, now this is extremely important, what is happening here, you see Jagat is actually Brahman plus names and forms. So to understand, give me 1 second. I just want to make sure I. So if you take the names, if you see the world through the names and forms, when we see the world through the names and forms, our mind gets captured by the names and forms. So to see Brahman, Jagat minus names and forms. That's number one. Now, where do you see names and forms? In our mind. So what is our mind? It is the awareness. I know. I know that this is pencil. I know that this is a book. Right? The awareness principle knows object. And then names and forms it gives. So Jagat is Brahman plus names and forms. Outside, what we see outside. What we experience inside is awareness or chit plus name and form. So when we wake up, we get identified with the ego or with the Chidabhasa, with the reflected light. And in the presence of the reflected light, we see object outside. And our mind is conditioned to see name and form. And then the world also appears as names and forms. So names and forms are at two places, in our mind, and then outside, corresponding to the mind, outside we also see names and forms. Each person may have different way of looking at it, but still they supplement one another. Now, very important point is, first focus on your individual. If I look at this, it's a pencil. If I look at this, it's a phone. If I look at a book, it's a book. But in each one of those, what is changing? The object is changing. What is it that is not changing? The light. In the same way, in the mind also, various thoughts and objects and emotions and perceptions, they change. But the one which illumines all of them, awareness, remains. So if we do not dwell on the names and forms and emotions or perceptions and shift our attention to the awareness which is lighting them, you drop names and forms. You become pure awareness. Now, at the state of pure awareness, if you focus and just recognize it is you before names and forms, you realize it pervades. It is same thing like deep sleep, because names and forms are taken out, but you are now aware, you are awake and aware with no mind. You are peaceful. So what is the difference? You are not through the ego, through Chidabhasa. Chidabhasa is the one which gives the names and forms and creates a commentary. I understand, I don't understand, I don't see anything, I see nothing. Seeing nothing is also consciousness. In the presence of the light of consciousness, you shift your attention to the light of consciousness. Now it is not broken by objects. When it is not broken by objects, you are all pervading infinite. Number one. Number two, if you own that, you have to own it. It's not just a theoretical, it is actually real. If you have that clarity, you are that, in that, even when something rises in you, you are able to shift your attention back to your awareness. Same thing with eyes open. So Vedantic meditation is not just closing your eyes and shutting the mind. No. Vedantic meditation is seeing when the movie is going on, the pictures are not real. Pictures are only within your consciousness. And then not giving reality to it. That is Vedantic meditation. The pictures come and go, but you remain. But you forget yourself into your thoughts and into perceptions. So you shift your attention. So any object is only giving you clarity that awareness is there. You are awake. With that aware, active mind, you shift your attention to the consciousness, awareness. Forget, drop the object. So, what is that? That is actually experience minus names and forms. What is experience minus names and forms? Chit. So, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says in Drugdushaveka, Hurdiva Bahya Deshopi, Yasmin Vasmincha Kastuni, Upeksha Nama Rupe Dve, Satchidananda Vastuni. I will read that sloka. Upeksha Nama Rupe Dve, Satchidananda Tatparaha, Samadhim Sarvada Kuryat, Hurdayevadhava Bahihi. Hurdayeva Adhava Bahihi. As long as you keep dropping the names and forms, there is no difference between inside and outside. Because outside object also is seen in your consciousness. See, you, without your knowledge, you are permitting consciousness to own your body, which is a mistake. The moment you shift your attention to consciousness, you are all pervading. Outside objects also appear in you because you provide existence. Without you, outside object also cannot exist. So in this logic, experience minus names and forms is Chit Swarupa, your Chit Swarupa, Chaitanya Swarupa of the whole universe. Everybody sees experience in his consciousness only, or her consciousness only, everybody. So all pervading consciousness exists for everybody, is within it. Sat existence also experienced as personal existence. First, without names and forms, you exist first. Then you see names and forms in you. When you wake up, you first exist without names and forms. Then you are all pervading. Then whatever object you see, your mind shifts to that. But no, don't shift it. You remain as up. Then you see it's appearing in me. Then every object or every experience indicates you back to yourself. Right? So given that introduction, let us do the 8th mantra. Because it's very, this is where it goes. Right. Sa esha anima etadatmamidagam sarvam tat satyam. त्यगुंस आत्मा तत्वमसि श्वेतकेतो इति भूय एव मा भगवान् विज्ञापयतु इति तथा सौम्या होवाच. स एषः अणिमा एतदात्ममिदं सर्वं तत्सत्यं स आत्मा तत्वमसि श्वेतकेतो इति भूय एव मा भगवान् विज्ञापयतु इति तथा सौम्या होवाच. The discussion I gave earlier as introduction, we have to kind of Saha Esha Anima Etadatmamidam Sarvam. That pure presence which we have been talking about, Anima, it is the finest possible existence. Because it's finest, in it everything appears, but we miss it. Etadatmamidam. That is the essence of everything. Atma means the innermost reality is called Atma. The Atma of the door, wooden door is wood. Without, if you take the wood out, there is no door. None of the wooden objects exist if they take wood out. Same thing, if you take the water out, waves don't exist. What Vedanta is saying is if you take existence consciousness, if you take yourself out, the world doesn't exist. Everything appears in your consciousness. And it appears and takes reality in your consciousness. Your excitements, your depressions, your children, your family, objects you see, your thoughts, all of them have no reality without you. You give reality two ways. Existential reality with name and forms, and then internal reality as chit plus name and forms. Chitta names and forms is called Chidabhasa induced. So inside you shift your attention to Chaitanya. Outside when you see object, you still shift your attention to it is appearing in my consciousness. Don't limit yourself, I'm only here. I'm all pervading. That is why Brahma is called Sat and Chit. Pure Sat, pure Chit. Sat is appearance which you give reality to outside objects. But it also applies inside you, your thoughts. That's also Sat. But inside you, you give them by using the word Chit, I know them. So Chit is experienced primarily in us. But when you realize it is also all pervading. But you see inside you, broken into names and forms. And you assign them to outside. And then you separate using this body and mind. But when you actually do not give reality to the mind and body, and then and give reality to Chit, because all of this could pass in your awareness, then awareness is a common. Experience is common. That's why Eitad Atmamidam, awareness and Sat and Chit are the essence of the whole phenomena. What is phenomena? Names and forms. Borrowed names and forms. Name is given in our mind and form is as though supplied by the objects outside. But then in reality, thoughts are also seen by our awareness. They also forms. Number one. Aitadatmamidam sarvam. We by mistake identify awareness only to this, but it is not true because our awareness can see all objects. Anywhere awareness reaches. Then when you take the object out, awareness remains. So you are pervaded. Tat satyam, that Atma, Aitadatma midam, the finest existential principle is the actual reality. Because it's anima. Because our mind is looking only at the objects. That's why it's called anima, finest. Saram. Tat satyam, that is the only reality, changeless. Everything else is not reality, appearance only. Namarupa is just appearance only. Sa Atma. That is the actual essence of everything. I repeat what I said earlier. Without your awareness and consciousness, or without your consciousness and also existence, your world doesn't exist. So, Existence is given by you. Experiencing awareness is supplied by you, in you. Don't forget that. So, who is Atma? The whole universe, Atma is Sat and Chit. Your Atma is also Sat and Chit. So, both of them, if you remove the names and forms, both of them are Sat and Chit only. So, what is the result? Tattvam Asi. The world is also, Tat Padam is also Sat and Chit. Tvam Padam, I, is also Sat and Chit. So there is only one reality, Sat and Chit, which by mistake we separate as you and me. But when you drop the separations which are in the mind, then there is oneness. Sa Atma, Tattvam Asi, you are that. Basically, in deep sleep, there are no two people. There is no effect of color, there is no effect of scholarship. There is no you and me. But when you have awareness also, then you realize the same thing. You are all pervading in you, everything appearing, and then you use them to indicate your existence. Unless you are present, you cannot see anything. Once you see something, it shows you are existing. You are giving existence to it. So what Vedanta clearly says is only existence appears as bits and pieces, borrowing existence from existence. Just like wave is nothing but water, exist everything is existence. Everything is, and then it appears. The book is, paper is, the speaker is, listener is, computer is. The easiness is all pervasive. Within that easiness, individual appears like a wave with a name and form. But our mind is on name and functionality, name and fame and functional. But easiness is first. Just like energy is first, and then energy transforms into various molecules and atoms. In the same way, consciousness, existence is first. That is you. When you do not identify yourself with the perception and thoughts and your body, because they are also names and forms. Samadhi is when you realize you are not these names and forms, they appear in you, and you have freedom not to tie up with them. How do you do that? Everything as you see it, you say it is just an appearance in me. Because without me, it doesn't exist. You shift your attention to the object, to the illuminating principle, which is awareness. They remain in awareness. That is pure Sat also. Objects come and go. You keep on shifting your attention to the awareness. Then that becomes Sat. So who are Tattvam Asi, that pure awareness and existence. Tattvam Asi, you are that. So earlier he told you, by knowing one, you know everything. You know everything, you heard everything, you thought of everything, you know everything. So now he's saying, if you know your Sat and Chit, just like once you know gold, all the golden ornaments are known. Once you know your Sat and Chit, everything that appears inside you is Sat with Nama Rupa. Then you realize you are not that. You shift your attention to the Chit principle, which you supply. Then you shift your attention to this Chit. Then Nama Rupa drops and Sat and Chit merge. Like that whole universe disappears in your vision. It has no effect on you. Separation is that, and this is only you have forgotten. You are supplying the both existence and awareness to your experiences. Well, so when he explained this, his son Svetaketu, he said, "Bhuya eva ma Bhagavan vijñapayetu iti." So he realized this is something very, very profound. So he asked him, "Father, can you please explain this again?" Tadha Soumya Hovacha. He said, "Okay, I will explain this." So Bhagavan Shankaracharya in his commentary, he says exactly the very similar. I will quickly read. Yena cha atmana atmavat sarvam idam jagat tat eva sadakhyam karanam satyam paramartha sat. For the whole universe, sat akhyam, what is said sat, is the karanam satyam paramartha sat. Is the absolute essence of the whole universe is sat. What he's saying, remove names and forms, only thing remains is sat. And that's what you do in deep sleep. In waking state also you can do it. You have the mind not reacting to what comes and goes. Here he says, Ataha saha eva atma jagataha pratyak swarupam satatvam yadhatmyam. Therefore, for the whole universe, the Atma, the innermost self, is yadhat as it is, Atma as it is, without adding names and forms in your mind. Adhatmyam, as it is. Then he says, Atma Sabdasya Nirupapadasya Pratyagatmani Gavadi Sabdavat Rudhatva. So the word Atma is equivalent to very clear definition, just like Gavadivat. Just like you say, when you say cow, you have a definition. Rudhi, that's called Rudhi. In the same way, Nirupapadasya Pratyagatmani, without adding an adjunct like Jivatma, then you have added, you add a Upapada, Jiva Atma. If you don't have that Jiva, just Atma, it means essence of the whole cosmic existence. That's meaning of Atma. Impersonal self, in simple English. Whole universe has only one impersonal self. And you realize it when you realize you first start as impersonal self and then you develop personal self. Simple English. Your impersonal self has to first come. When you wake up, your impersonal self first comes. Deep sleep, you are not aware, but your impersonal self means that screen first comes. That is Atma. Innermost self. Pratyagatmani. Pratyak, innermost self. Impersonal self. Innermost self. Purest presence. Without any added masala, names and forms. That you can feel is completely peaceful, all pervading. It has no limitations. The limitations we add. You identify, I'm the mother, I'm the husband, I am the employee, I have to go to work. Now you added the limitations into the impersonal self. Now it becomes personalized self. Then impersonal self goes into the background. What Vedanta is saying is a impersonal self, you recognize you are that, and then operate from that like a space. Then personal self you can operate. Identity shift you should not make. That's what Vedanta is. That is possible by sadhana. As I said earlier, you shift your attention from object to the awareness. Then the object, you realize Sat and Chit. Existence is also arising from you. Without you, the object doesn't exist. And without you, you don't have the awareness of the object. So now shift your attention to the Sat and Chit, then Jagat becomes without names and forms. And awareness also becomes names and forms because you don't anymore identify with it, with emotion. Then you are free. Practice that state of non-reactive existence awareness. Aware being aware. And then thoughts give reality as needed. That's all it is. So when he heard this, Shvetaketu got really interested. So he asked, Hey Bhagavan, Vijnapayetu iti. He asked, can you please Bhuya eva ma Bhagavan Vijnapayetu. Can you kindly explain further? Then father said, Tadha Somya iti hovacha. I will tell you. So from this section, now this is 8 section, 9 to 16 sections. They discuss now, the teaching is done practically now. Tatpadartha Vichara is done. What is Tatpadartha? Brahman, Asti, all pervading oneness is the essence. Trampada Vichara means the person who is a chit, who provides the chit, awareness to it, he is also all pervading. So Tattvamasi indicates Jiva, by knowing I as an individual, I know the whole universe. Because both of them common oneness. That is Karana. Once I know cause, I know all the effects. So once I know the cause, just like once I know the gold, all the gold ornaments I have. Once I know I am that Satchit, everything that appears is also Paro Sat and appears. So sections 9 to 16, various reflection questions are asked by the student. And because teaching is not that simple, as soon as the Tattvamasi, you have to go to Samadhi. By every object that arises in you, you shift your attention to the awareness and you become that, and then you remain as that, that's it. That is all pervading infinite. Because Varal also rises in it. So that's all simple. But then you need some reflection. So next, section 9 to 16, 7 sections, they actually connect with the reflection. Asi pada, discussion, that connection, clarity on this connection. Okay? So we'll do the section 9. So we'll start section 9. यथा सौम्य मधुकृतः निस्तिष्ठन्ति नानात्ययानां वृक्षाणां रसान् समवहारम् एकतां रसं गमयन्ति यथा सौम्य मधुकृतः निस्तिष्ठन्ति नानातेयानां वृक्षाणां रसान् समवहार एकम् एकमेतां रसं गमयन्ति. Here, the student is asking, how do we actually, this is not the answer to the question is, when we go to the deep sleep, we do not know our individuality. And we are saying we are Sat, undifferentiated oneness. Can you kind of elaborate that some more? Indirectly, that's the question is. So if we do, then he's giving a example is the example. Yatha Soumya, just like Madhuhu Madhukurto Nististanti. Madhukurtaha means the honeybees. What do they do? Madhuhu Nististanti. They gather honey. How? Nana Teyanam Vrukshanam. From trees in different directions. Nana Teyanam Vrukshanam Rasan. They take the juice from the flowers, and then they actually apparently they do certain processing within their own bodies, and they create honey out of it. Samavaharam ekatam rasam gamayanti. All the rasa collected from various trees from different directions, and then they gather it one, then they combine them. Ekatam rasam gamayanti. Once they all come together, they become one. How? Let us do chant number mantra number 2. Yes. Te yadha tatra na vivekam labhante amushya mukshasya raso asmyam amushya mukshasya raso asmi iti evameva khalu saumya imas sarvaha prajaha sati sampadya na viduhu sati sampadhyamaham iti. I will read again. Te yatha tatra na vivekam labhante amushya aham vrukshasya rasaha asmi amushya aham vrukshasya rasaha asmi iti evameva khalu saumya imas sarvaha prajaha sati sampadya na viduhu sati sampadhyam aham iti. Once they become mixed in the honeycomb as honey, now it is just giving example, very interesting way he is presenting. The honey cannot distinguish itself that I came from that tree. You came from that tree. They would not be able to distinguish. They are all now honey. No difference is possible, even among them. So he is discussing as though there is a conversation between going on within the droplets of honey. But They themselves lost identity. Once they are all gotten into their pure presence. Evameva kalu saumya. In the same way, imas sarvaha prajaha. All the born, praja means not just human beings. Anything that is born is praja. Prakarshena jayate iti. In the same way, sarvaha prajaha, all the things that are born, sati sampadya. Once they go into sati means existence. Sati sampadya. Into existence, naviduhu. Sati sampadyam aham iti. Once they go into this sati, the aham is gone. Aham is only there as a nama rupa when you are identified with something. Chidabhasa has to be there. Reflected consciousness, the moment the reflection looks back, its original awareness, it loses its identity. The appearance in the mirror only has reality as long as the outside face is there. The moment the mirror appearance in the mirror realizes I am not this, I am that, then all the reflections become this. This fellow might be reflecting 10 mirrors. In the same way, the honey in all droplets might have come from different people, different reflections, but they all merge into the same face, same person, original. In the same way, all the individual drops of from various flowers, once they become into the honey combined, they lost identity. That is Sat. You just call one name now, honey. In the same way, all the individuals with the names and forms, the mental preoccupations, they all only exist as long as you identify with them by names and forms. And they all disappear once you go to Sat, which is pure existence, like in deep sleep. It's very important for reflection. Your piece of your existence is right now available to you as you. The Chidabhasa is not you because it is the one which is operating names and forms. It only has a transactional existence that you provide. Then you forgot that you are providing transactional existence to your image. And then you forget. When you forget, it takes over your life. But then you retrain it that you are awareness, your existence, your awareness. Then Chidabhasa disappears back to its source. Then you can transactionally use Chidabhasa as you need it. But you are not controlled by names and forms anymore. That's what he's saying. So in the same way, the people, when they merge into the essential existence, they do not have Chidabhasa anymore. They don't have individuality, which is only there when you are separate. When you become one, separateness is gone. So the question indirectly is, Father, in deep sleep, how do I lose separateness? So he's telling you lose separateness because you join the essential nature. In the essential nature, you remain as your essential presence. Until you join that, its individuality is there. Just like drops, droplets of honey from different sources are individual until they join. Once they join, they lose their identity. In the same way, all my Chidabhasas, individuality, minds, and definitions, names and forms in which it operates, personalized names and forms. Once they go back to impersonal presence and pure existence, they have no reality. Because they never had reality. That's the reason. So now he makes a very fascinating statement. Let us go ahead and read that. Number 3 and 4. Mantra number 3 and 4 will chant. Yes. Te iha vyagro va simho va vruko va varaho va kito va patango va damsho va mashako va yadyat bhavanti tada bhavanti. Te iha vyagro va सिंहो वा वृको वा वराहो वा कीटो वा पतंगो वा दंशो वा मशको वा यद्यद् भवन्ति तदा भवन्ति. Let us number 4 also. Yes. स एषो अनिमा एतदात्मविदं सर्वं तत् तत्सत्यं स आत्मा तत्त्वमसि श्वेतकेतो इति भूय एव मा भगवान् विज्ञापयतु इति तथा सौम्य इति होवाच. स एषो अनिमा एतदात्ममिदं सर्वं तत् सत्यं स आत्मा तत्त्वमसि श्वेतकेतो इति भूय एव मा भगवान् विज्ञापयतु इति तथा सौम्य iti hovacha. Okay, so let's do now number 3. All these whoever merge into Sat, those who merge into Sat, and then he explains Vyagrova. He said Praja, all they are born. So now he is giving elaborate. It is not just you and me. Anything in the Sushti, in the creation. You and I have a special ego. That's why I was saying, oh, I'm different. No, no, no. In the name of Bhagavan's grace, everything that has awareness is the same. Vyagrova. Vyagra means tiger. Simhova, lion. Vrukova, wolf. Varahova, boar. Kitova, worm. Patangova, bird. Damshova, it's a gnat, it's called GNAT gnat, or it's a fly, big fly, forest flies. Mashakova, mosquito. You and I and mosquito are not, no different. Once you merge in Sat, we remain as pure existence. Names and forms are only at individual identified level. Remember how beautiful this teaching is. Whole universe exists as existence consciousness. It's like that even now. You and I and a mosquito or a fly is not different at the root level. Once we go to root level, they are all the same. Yadyat bhavanti tada bhavanti. Whatever they all, once they merge into existence consciousness, they all lose their identity. Pure Sat, pure presence. Remember, you are Shiva. Each individual is only appearance in you. Beyond you, in Samadhi, you immediately you know. If the eyes open or closed, once you identify your peaceful existential consciousness self, There is no difference between this body and that body. They all appear from there, they operate in it, and they also go back into it. And your true life is peaceful existence. And your waking life is a role you are playing. You are actually pure existence consciousness. And then again he repeats, Sa esha anima etadatma midam. That pure presence where everybody merges. Aitadatmyam, that is the essence of the whole universe. Sarvam, Tat Satyam, that is reality. Saatma, Tattvamasi, you are that. Svetaketo iti, repeated that. Then the son is now again saying, Bhuya eva Bhagavan Vijnapayetu. Yes, father, Bhuya eva Bhagavan, Guru is called Bhagavan, respectful, you know, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, like that. Vijnapayetu. Bhuya eva Vijnapayetu. Again he asked. So he is now reflecting. He now asks a question, how is it possible that we all merge into one? How is it possible the whole universe has only one reality? And he answered that question by saying consciousness existence is, is one all pervading oneness in which everything that is aware will come and join in deep sleep. When it drops, the awareness that we use is only transactional awareness. Means awareness with names and forms into which we are caught up. When we drop those names and forms, Sat and Chit become one. You shift your attention to the awareness in each experience and then remain there without reacting. Then all the experiences strengthen you are that awareness. And that awareness is available to you if the eyes open as pure presence. And it is awareness is available to everybody, not just you, because they all merge there in deep sleep. When the awareness itself is purest form, there is no contamination by names and forms. Names and forms means perceptions, excitements, depressions, identifications, all these things are names and forms through which we see ourselves. That's the key. We see ourselves through names and forms. We see the world also through the names and forms. We forget the awareness that is unconscious that is illuminating it. When you shift our attention to the true presence, that you are peaceful existing, although you are asleep without reacting, that is pure Sat. Into that, everything merges in deep sleep. So indirectly he's saying deep sleep is the real state, and the world of waking and dream is only a play in consciousness, where you separate Sat and Chit. You have a separate existence by name with a particular name and form, and then you also play in that existence in the sea of existence consciousness. So we are all appearances in existence consciousness as separate bubbles. The way look at it is. We all go back to it in deep sleep. That's where our true nature is. And then again we come out of existence and play. Small bubble. And then that bubble, I call my name, my form, and then my ego. Then I separate. So to go back to yourself, you focus on the light of awareness, in light of which Sat appears. And then shift your attention to common oneness, all pervading presence. Purnamadaha Purnamidam. Okay. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।